What is energetic contamination? What is energetic contamination? Have you ever been contaminated before? Have you ever had something you was doing get contaminated? Well, what's contamination? Well, I got lots of questions. So we finna answer them right here, right now. Yes, yes. Super excited. So, energetic contamination, right? It allows us to think about two things. First, the first one is energy, energetic, energy, flow, vibes, right? And then contamination, we can already think and picture that's like the toxic mark, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't come this way, toxic zone, like hazmat suit, mask on type of things, right? So we're picturing um, a contamination, which is something that we don't want in our process or in our environment, inside of our energetic environment. This is energetic contamination. I'm gonna give it to y'all in a couple different stories so that we can see this picture, all right? So that we can understand how to keep the doors on tight. Yes, yes. Because we gotta guardian the mind. We gotta guard the mind and understand that we are the gardeners of the mind of God. We are gardening the earth. We're guarding the earth. You understand? Energetically. So let's talk about this. Boom, energetic contamination, right? The first story I'm gonna paint for us is a brother or sister who is inspired to become a doctor in the context that they want to serve other people in the world. They want to work on the issues that are found within the bodies of other people in the world, and that's what they want to do, right? So they create a thought wave about this. And I'm going to use a lot of new terminologies for us to actually have collaborative understanding. So they start putting out these thoughts like, oh, wow, it would be so amazing if I could actually, and then I would feel amazing because, and then people will be healed, and then just fascinate about it. That's thought waves. So we create these thought waves as an individual, and then we run into our auntie, our mother, our grandmother, somebody, right? And we engage with this person, and they start to send what to us? Well, since we're human beings in this physical structure, the temple of God, we are the soul here, and we exchange by thoughts. So she starts to share some thoughts with me because I meet my auntie, so we talking now. But I have all these thoughts about what I'm going to do and how I'm going to be and how things are working for me. And then my auntie brings in some thoughts too. Well, what does she bring to the table? Well, she says, it's super hard to become a doctor, right? She says, you're not really medically curated. You're more like an artist, right? Like you've been drawing for your whole life. How you going to do surgery instead? You've been drawing. You're a drawer. That's contamination. Why? Because in the context of the energy in which you are flowing, you're having something that's opposing, and now it's causing you to now check the door. Like, who's coming into the door? How do I check the door? I stand at the door to check the door. So I got to make sure, is this thought actually assisting me in what I'm creating? No, you can't open. Oh, is this thought? Oh, they come on right in. You understand? So that's the energetic contamination, just on a lower scale of, let's say, passion, direction, career, right? But it can go super huge because contamination happens so many different ways, so many different types of contamination. You just have to know your frequency. And whenever you're able to find and feel your frequency, it's a lot easier to find other types of contamination, because anything that's not in alignment with the direction you're flowing is contamination. It's like a stream is going one way. This river goes one way. So if you throw in a can of Coke, it's going the same way. You understand? It's going into my creation. So I can't allow certain things to get into this environment, or it's going to pollute my picture, the thing I'm creating. So now let's bring it into a lifestyle context, all right? Because everybody lives their own style in life. That's why we have lifestyles. It's depending on how you find your way of expressing and living in the planet Earth. So boom, let's pick up brother, and this brother, he loves to make wine. All right, now he don't drink wine as much as he make wine, because he just has an enjoyment from the process and understanding the different components in this system of making wine. So my brother been making wine for like 6 years now. Ain't hurt nobody, ain't been hurt, ain't killed nobody, ain't been killed. Been doing his good work. Okay, boom, perfect. Now he get into a conversation with another auntie, and the auntie talking about another person that they know who just died from alcohol overdose, like just got drunk, did some wild shit. So now the auntie comes over, she's like, She just pouring the shit out because that's how she feels for real. So to the brother who makes the wine now, he's hearing the story. He's like, okay, well, there's a lot of energy. She's saying, stop making wine. I don't want you to mess around with wine no more because wine kills people. Look at Steve. Steve's dead now. And this is not good because Steve would have been the strong man if alcohol didn't find him. And then they just keep going. Because she's sold on this idea that alcohol is the reason for this situation. Now, to be 100% modest and also responsible in this conversation, I'm not soliciting or advising that individuals utilize particular substances for whatever they think or whatever they do. That's not what I'm suggesting here. What I'm suggesting here is showing you guys how to paint the picture and how to know when your picture is being messed with. So our brother who makes the wine, let's say he's been doing this for 6 years. And he's able to pay his bills because he do this, you know what I'm saying? Now, we talk more about the matrix later, but he's able to sustain himself through this practice, through this art that he's creating art by making wine from grapes and things, right? So, he now has to balance his energy with the new energy that's coming in. And now he's just doing it respectfully because he could just say, I don't give a fuck. Excuse me, auntie, I gotta say how it really is. He could just say, I don't give a fuck. But then he has compassion in his heart, so he actually listens into what she's sharing and also takes opportunity to observe the situation and be like, okay, yeah, that is right, because, you know, if you're not aware of how to utilize this substance, you might actually, okay, so I understand that. But now how does he go about his business tomorrow? That's energetic contamination. Now he has to go in his mind and clear out the mind and understand, yeah, there are people that don't utilize this tool in this effective way. People who don't have the foresight, but I have the foresight. So I'm going to teach the people that shop with me what I know so that they don't actually have to go through those things, rather than just saying, oh, fuck it, let's go somewhere. Just let me go work at, let me go apply back to Staples because I was working there before I started making wine. You understand? Because it's called energetic contamination. It's about what your thoughts is like and who's able to actually add to that or take from that. You got to be able to stand at the door and make sure that whoever's coming in is bringing the goods. You understand? Now, this not to say that there's not a time to conceptualize or to consider what someone's bringing to you. That's just being open-minded. You understand? But in this context of energetic contamination, it's important to know that when you have a goal, when you have a direction, when you have a purpose in your motion, it is right next to self-sabotage to disapprove of your own permission to accept someone else's permission to do something or not to do something. So that's just two little pictures right there, right? So one other form of energetic contamination, because that's lifestyle based. I decide I'm gonna be a business owner, I'm gonna do things like this. Another one that we can look at is also in the lifestyle sense. It's like, let's say we're talking about one of our aunties. She a church lady. Now, she was born and raised in the church. She ain't do no research, and she don't have no etymology. It's all good, though. She smiled for the world. So, she lived a very, you know what I'm saying, boxy lifestyle. Excuse me, auntie, I'll say what it is. She lived a really boxy lifestyle. All the rules made for her, and she just makes sure that she don't mess around with nothing. None of her pastors or ministers mad at her, so she just live according to what they say. Super. Now, she finds somebody who done read all the books, who tapped in with his chakras, who done turned his shit on, right? And then it's like, oh, I don't allow that. That's a contamination of energy, because the people who decide how she thinks, they don't want her to become aware of herself. So for you to be aware of yourself around her, that's a problem now. Now you got too much knowledge. Now you got too much information. Now she's changing too much. Now she just started changing her diet now. Now you done mess up everything. Even they putting it on track. You dig what I'm saying? I'm just showing y'all the different ways of observing what it means to accept a person's frequency or the frequency a person puts out. For example, in the second story, when we talk about the auntie telling our brother stop selling alcohol, stop making wine. Now, I don't even partake in alcohol, actually. But in the story form, you know, it's up to him to accept what she's saying. You understand? And that's the same exact way. Like if I am actually utilizing the process of meditation, I'm doing self-reflection, and that is my spiritual practice on a regular basis, then to someone else who regular spiritual practice is just going to a physical building on a Sunday, there's a contamination there because they're not asking for that, but I'm bringing that. You understand? And that's what I want people to have apparent awareness to. It's about the influence a person is under when they step into your space. You understand? And the sister in story number 2, telling our brother not to create wine, she was walking in there with fear. She was walking there thinking that death is actually what it seems like it is if you listen to the mind. You understand? But not understanding the true understanding of spiritual life is to know that there's only life after this. So she's not even with the knowledge. She's just out here hopeful and fearful. And she's just trying to share that. Woo! Hey, that's some wild shit though, because people try to give what they feel like it's good, but they don't even know it's no good. That's wild. That's wild, but they be doing that. They be doing that shit. Super excited. Super excited. So that's energetic contamination, family. It's about understanding the motion in which you're putting into this physical reality. How are you deciding to move? All right? And who's showing up and deciding to move with you? Or who's showing up and telling you that you're on the wrong track? It's contamination. It's contamination. Like right now, I have a very serene space. If I were to accept someone into this space, who would be a good candidate to accept? You understand? Well, only someone who can actually add to what is going on here. If anybody's coming over here and they need to take something from what's going on here, it wouldn't be possible, because then I wouldn't be able to sustain what I have because I would have a contamination there. You understand? So, in terms of your personal, your physical aura, what is contaminating your space? Because I know exactly what energetic contamination is like, because I became more of myself when I realized myself, when I realized the truth of who I am, right? And I realized the truth of the false that they gave me earlier, because they didn't know themselves either, so they couldn't even give me knowledge of myself because they didn't have it. You can only get what you got. You dig what I'm saying? So I was living in a space where I knew me, but the people around them didn't know them, so they couldn't even know me because they didn't really know them either. So I was contaminated, because even though I was one with myself in the space was pure contamination, because every time I go somewhere, I got to actually put a blocker on. Oh, I got to make sure that these people understand that they are not their body. They just feel like they're the human body walking around. No, you're the soul in the body walking around. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's contamination. So I have to now clean my motherfucking shit all the time, because I'm spending myself, well, I'm experiencing my time in the space where I have to clean my shit all the time. Because I walk over here, and y'all don't know knowledge of self. So y'all just fucking, and then I go over there, and y'all don't know knowledge of self. So y'all just, so then after I leave, now I have to come back here and do like, oh, I got to comb my hair, all this shit out. That's a form of energetic contamination. All right? It's really important. And as I'm starting to notice now, I created this space so I would not have no contamination, so that I could give my true gift directly to the world and whoever's listening, to all those who are listening. You understand? It's because I knew that I was supposed to be doing this. I knew that I was supposed to be having this space where I can actually pour and nothing is coming inside the stream. No cans, no bottles, no motherfucking pins. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make the river flow and have no cans, no baggage of chips, none of that shit. No contamination. Super excited. So yeah, I want to make this video, man, have some love for you. You know what I'm saying? Have some love and be like, nah, I can't really just be walking around like all these cans and bottles and plastic bowls and shit. It's supposed to be in my stream. It's not. And I don't want it there no more, because I love enough to make sure it's not. You did what I'm saying. Super excited. Super excited. Super excited. Super excited to make this video too. So if y'all like videos like this, make sure to share this shit out. Share this shit out. Make sure someone else knows how to keep this shit clean, dude. Because this is the type of time it is. This is the type of time it is right now. If you are not managing and making sure that your energy is not contaminated, it is. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Because there's nobody else out there who's going to make sure that they're not contaminating you. You have to make sure that they're not. And if you're not, they are. So with that being said, appreciate y'all for watching this video. Super excited. Super excited. Stay tuned for the next video. It's going to be talking about climbing the energetic ladder. And it's going to be super helpful for people who are finding and foundating their frequency, meaning they're creating a foundation of their own frequency. Super excited. Super excited. Hey, but that being said, man, talk to y'all soon, man. This is the light shining bright and shining light from the inside. Yes, yes. Super easy. It's easier to smile from the inside. You don't have to fake for no folks. With that being said, I'm going to talk to y'all next time, man. Peace. Oh, just to bring it full circle, energetic contamination is when you allow a frequency that is not of you, a frequency that is not of your soul, a frequency that is not of the reason why you're here, a frequency that is low in nature, all right? And you allow this frequency to basically permeate your experience, all right? Meaning that it involves itself in your experience, it flows throughout your experience, and it's not yours, and you don't like it, and you wouldn't give it to nobody, all right? So there's a lot of things like fear, worry, doubt, you know the brothers and sisters, all right? So to have this in clarity is really to know that when you are engaging with someone, you are checking their energetic influence, and you're able to discern where is this person coming from. Now, not to say that you just turn away from them and run away or some shit like that, but really to stand in the space of God at the time, even while you're listening to them, and know that what they're saying is coming from the mind. They have accepted fear, or they have accepted doubt, or they have accepted worry. They have accepted something that is not really true. And that's how they run around with it. So you just want to know how that's going to affect you and choose not to be affected by it, by having the oversight, by having the awareness, by having the hindsight, and knowing that, okay, I'm not underneath that influence. That is not my vibe. That is not how I feel. That's not my feelings about X, Y, and Z. So that's going to leave with you. It's not coming home with me. Straight up. And that's what I want to share in this video. So I want to bring it all the way back around full circle because I wanted y'all to have a crystal clear picture at the very end, even though I gave y'all a couple of pictures to look at. Super excited. I'm going to talk to y'all in the next video. Peace.